Welcome, everybody, to the Township of North Glengarry's regular council meeting on Monday, February the 9th. We will open the meeting with the national anthem, if everyone can please stand. Okay, thank you. I will, as I said, welcome everybody, welcome council members, welcome to the public and those online. The mayor is not here this evening. He's in sunny destination, lucky guy. And I'd like to welcome Michael Fothrop, who is officially our CAO clerk now, and will be taking over formally from our interim CEO, Tim Simpson. Thank you for your service, Tim, and looking forward to moving forward. Thank you. I'll call this meeting to order. Are there any declarations of pecuniary interest? Yes, Councillor Madden.
I have a conflict with 6A1 report BP 2026-02.
2026-02, okay. Conflict noted, and I take it you've signed the form, taking care of that? Okay, thank you very much. So acceptance of the agenda, we are going to amend it because our building officer is so special. He feels he needs to go first. So we're moving him to the top of the agenda. No, he has a prior commitment, so he needs to get through his reports so he can be on his way. So we're going to move building and planning up to the top of the agenda, and then community services will come after that. So I have a mover and a seconder. Councillor Massey, as amended, please.
Yes, thank you, Mrs. Mayor. Mr. Deputy Mayor, moved by myself, seconded by Councillor Cadell, that the Council of the Township of North Glengarry accepts the agenda of the regular meeting of Council on Monday, February 9th, 2026, as amended.
Thank you. Is there any discussion, any other amendments? Seeing none? Yes?
Just to clarify, my conflict is with the amended numbers in front of me, not what we had on our package. Just so that's plain.
Yeah, it's up there at the top now.
Yeah.
You're the first one to be dealt with.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you. Any other discussion? All in favor of the motion? Carried. Thank you. Adoption of previous minutes. Councillor Cadell, please.
Thank you, Deputy Mayor. I moved by myself, seconded by Councillor Manley, that the minutes of the following meetings be adopted as circulated. Regular meeting of council minutes from Monday, January 26th, 2026, and special meeting of council minutes Monday, February 9th, 2026.
Thank you, Councillor Cadell. Are there any errors or omissions? Seeing none, all in favor of the motion? Carried. Thank you very much. Okay, moving on. We have no delegations this evening. On to staff reports, and we'll start with Mr. Special Rayon.
Thank you, Ms. Deputy Mayor. So this report is to actually renew a contract for our septic inspections. So as council knows, here in North Glengarry and in South actually, we issue our own septic system building permits. So the people come here, they apply for their septic system permit. We issue the permit, and as the chief building official, I sign the permit. So it's all done in-house. This here is a contract that we have with Lakeside Green Environmental to provide services for, he reviews the plan, he actually does the permit, I just need to sign the permit. Mike does the inspections, he does, like, people call him directly, he takes care of all the inspection up until the final, and then I sign the final, so I issue the final permit, final inspection, and then that's it. So this here is actually a renewal of application, so we've been doing that since, I think, 8 years now. This is a one-year renewal because of the council that may change, so hopefully we can go more years in the future renewal. This one's for 1 year, so we had signed before from 2024 and 2025. This is for this, the year coming. So I put the little table there for fees, so just to clarify, the township, we don't make money with this, so we basically back charge what it's costing us back to the landowner. So in the budget that was reflected, so we make no money out of that. It's really just in and out money. And yeah, so we'd like to move forward again with this method. It works really well. Speed, like the septic system are issued quick, no complaints, easy to reach for people. So yeah, thank you, Mr. Deputy Mayor.
Very, very good, thank you. I was remiss of not putting the motion on the table. Councillor Cadell, can you please put the motion on the table? It's BP 202602. Got it? Okay.
And moved by myself, seconded by Councillor Massey, that the Council of the Township of North Glengarry receive staff report 2026-02, Part 8, Septic System Design Reviews and On-Site Inspections, Lakeside Green Environment Contract, and that the Council of the Township of North Glengarry enter into a one-year contract, January 2026 to December 2026 inclusively, with Lakeside Green Environment Consulting to provide plan review and inspection services for Part 8 on-site sewage system of the Ontario Building Code. That bylaw 08/2026 be read first, second, and third time and enacted in open council this 9th day of February 2026.
Thank you, Councillor Cadell. Okay, discussion. Yes, Councillor Manley.
Thank you, Deputy Mayor. Jacob, just a question about other municipalities in our area. Is our contract with Lakeside, is it comparable to other?
Yes, it's very much comparable with, so basically there's us and South Glengarry, we deal with Lakeside Green Environmental. All the other townships in SDG, Prescott Russell, deal with South Nation River Conservation Authority, who have a septic program as well. Fees are comparable, we're actually a little bit cheaper for some reason, probably because travel costs, like Mike is right here instead of,
yeah.
so very comparable, yes.
Thank you.
Great, thanks. Any other questions or comments? Seeing none, all in favor of the motion? Carried. Thanks very much. If someone wants to go get Mike. Okay, moving on. BP 2026-04, zoning bylaw amendment Z12 2025, Wilco Finger. Councillor Massey, if you could please put that on the table.
Mrs. Deputy Mayor, moved by myself, seconded by Councillor Cadell, that the Council of the Township of North Glengarry adopt zoning bylaw number Z12-2025, and that bylaw Z12-2025 be read a first, second, and third time and enacted in open council this 9th day of February 2026.
Thank you. Go ahead, Jacob.
Thank you, Mr. Deputy Mayor. So this zoning bylaw amendment was for 2800 Lockhill Road, County Road 21. The owner, Mr. Wilco Finger. So this was one of a typical rezone both portions from severance conditions. So to rezone the large portion, 99 acres, to prohibit residential development and to acknowledge the deficiency in frontage, and to rezone the severed portion, so the little residential lot, big flag lot, 2 acres, so to prohibit agricultural use, and to acknowledge the deficiency in front from 45 to 6 meters. We have advertised as per Planning Act. We have received no comments or concerns from any members of the public or any agencies. Thank you.
Excellent. Thank you, Jacob. Questions or comments from anybody? All in favor of the motion? Carried. Thanks very much. All right, on to BP 2026-05 zoning bylaw amendment Z13 2025. Councillor Manley, please put that on the table.
Thank you, Deputy Mayor. Moved by myself, seconded by Councillor Madden, that the Council of the Township of North Glengarry adopt zoning bylaw Z13 2025, and that bylaw Z13 2025 be read a first, second, and third time and enacted in open council this 9th day of February 2026.
Thank you very much. Go ahead, Jacob.
Thank you, Mr. Deputy Mayor. So the owner for this application, Mr. Manjot Sarkaria, address 18683 Canyon Concession Road 2 in Apple Hill. So this zoning bylaw amendment was to permit a secondary home on the property, and for that secondary home to potentially be a mobile home. So we have, again here, received no comments or concerns from any members of the public or any agencies. Thank you.
Very good. Thank you. Any questions or comments from council? Seeing none, all in favor of the motion? Carried. Thanks very much. And the final one, BP 2026-05 zoning bylaw amendment Z13 2025, no. Zoning bylaw amendment Z14 2025, Robert Couchy?
Kochi, yeah.
Very good. Go ahead.
Thank you, Mr.
Oh,
Deputy
no,
Mayor.
sorry. Mike. Councillor Madden, please.
Thank you, Madam Deputy Mayor. Moved by myself, seconded by Councillor Martin, that the Council of the Township of North Glengarry adopt zoning bylaw number Z 14 2025, and that bylaw number Z 14 2025 be read a first, second, and third time and enacted in open council this 9th day of February 2026.
Thank you, Councillor Madden. Now you can go.
Thank you. So yet the applicant for this file, Mr. Robert Couchy, at 19209 Canyon Concession Road 7 in Alexandria. This was pretty much a copy paste from the other one. This was where we had a temporary bylaw that was passed 10 years ago, has now expired. The building is already there, so this is really to make everything legal. So again, here to permit a secondary dwelling on the property, and for that secondary dwelling to be a mobile home, because it currently is. And again, here, no comments or concerns from members of the public and from any agencies. Thank you, Madam Deputy.
Very good. Thank you, Jacob. Any questions or comments from council? Seeing none, all in favor of the motion? Carried. Thanks very much. Bye, Jacob. All right, moving on to staff reports 6B. We have Community Services Department, CS 2026-05 hall rental policy. Councillor Manley, please put it on the table.
Thank you, Deputy Mayor. Moved by myself, seconded by Councillor Madden, that the Council of the Township of North Glengarry receive staff report CS 2026-505 hall rental policy, and that bylaw 12 2026 be read a first, second, and third time and enacted in open council this 9th day of February 2026.
Thank you, Councillor Madden, Manley. Stephanie, please go ahead.
Thank you, Madam Deputy Mayor. This evening, the Community Services Department is presenting a new policy for our department that specializes or focuses on our hall rental procedures and processes for accepting requests for hall rentals. So this is something that processes existed within the department previously, but in consultation with our staff, as well as after reviewing other policies across other municipalities, we felt it was important to formalize something that speaks to our cancellation procedures, what's included in a rental, our insurance process, and all of the pieces that you'll find within the policy in tonight's package. Subject to any questions, we're looking to push this through just to continue to build structure and transparency with our users. Thank you.
Makes sense to me, for sure. Need these policies to guide everybody so that they have common understanding. Councillor Manley, please.
Thank you, Deputy Mayor. Stephanie, just wondering, we have a policy, or maybe not a formal written policy, but a policy where nonprofit organizations can have five rentals in a year. Will that still be valid?
Yes, so thank you through you, Madam Deputy Mayor. So that's that piece of nonprofits receiving 5 free rentals annually exists through our fees and charges bylaw. I know the directors and senior management team have been reviewing that report to bring back to council for the 2026 rates for approval. And we do intend to keep that that nonprofit agreement in there, subject to council's approval. But part of our goal in outlining the definitions through the hall rental policy, as you'll see, it speaks to the nonprofit, is just to better clarify, because we do get a lot of groups or organizations who make inquiries, and so we wanted to spell out what rate category through that fees and charges bylaw is relevant to the policy. So that's kind of the clarity as to why we didn't spell out the 5 free rentals in the policy, only because it exists within the annual fees and charges bylaw. But nonetheless, that's kind of an overview of that. Thank you.
Go ahead, Councillor Madden.
Thank you, Madam Deputy Mayor. I just want to say, reading through it, I think it's pretty good. Actually, I think it's very good. And I think to formalize it, especially in the case of cancellations, but also requirements for insurance, especially around alcohol and licensing. And I mean, obviously makes sense for us to have it on paper and be able to hand it to somebody who's renting, so there's no questions, especially even after the after the fact stuff about cleaning up and, you know, fees and deposits and all that good stuff. Good stuff. I like it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Other comments or questions? I just had a follow-up to Councillor Manley's question, which is a good one. Is there any sense, do you think, of embedding some of that not-for-profit gets 5 free ones in the policy, just for, you know, because not everyone's going to go through the fees and charges bylaw and find it in there necessarily? What is there? I don't. If it doesn't belong in there, then that's fine. But it just seems to me that it kind of clarifies it right off the top that this is something we consider.
Through you, Madam Chair. This is certainly something we can look at. I would think that since we're offering it to the not-for-profits for free, I think it probably should be indicated in the fees and charges bylaw regardless. Could we eventually make mention of it in this policy and refer to the fees and charges bylaw for that? That's a possibility, but certainly something we can look at in the future. I do think it absolutely needs to be listed in the fees and charges bylaw, for sure.
Okay, thanks. Go ahead, Councillor.
Yeah, I think a good point, Mr. Deputy Mayor. And also like a clear definition of what a nonprofit group is. I know it might be there, but maybe for the future also that we're not all there, the same council members, and then we know that it's in the user fees and stuff. But just to safeguard it, put it in a policy that way, it will be there forever and safeguarded, I think. If we just add it on.
Yeah, go ahead.
If I can also add, Madam Deputy Mayor, is something we also want to do when we're reviewing the fees and charges bylaw for this time around is, as much as we've permitted nonprofits to have 5 free rentals each year, we would potentially like to look, when we do our review of the fees and charges bylaw, to define that a bit differently, only because, as an example, you know, one nonprofit could book 5 separate rentals, 1 hour each, and then they've exhausted their 5 free rentals, where we have other profits who may, you know, rent the hall for a couple of weekends, and their, you know, daily use of it exceeding 5 hours in that one time slot is not necessarily defined differently anywhere. So we may look, whenever we come back to council with the fees and charges bylaw, just to look at how we're actually defining the allotment for nonprofit use.
That makes sense. Yeah, good idea. Okay, and I had one other question. We were talking about it, Michael, about the cancellation timing. Did you look that up?
Through you, Madam Mayor, I haven't spoken to Stephanie as of yet, so feel free to ask Ms. McCray.
Okay, I'm just trying to remember, because I don't have it in front of me. What was it? 4 weeks, you could cancel for 100% reimbursement?
Yes, so through you, Madam Deputy Mayor, currently the way it's written, and this has been a past practice, and again, I do want to give due credit to, the department over the years. A cancellation policy and these practices have been applied consistently over the years. It's simply our goal is to just put it together in a formalized policy, so it's not to take away from anything that's been done in the past. I came in with a great foundation to work from here. But how it works for the cancellation policy is we ask that users give us a minimum of 14 days notice to advise of any cancellations to avoid being billed. If it's within that 14-day period, they'll pay 100% of the rental cost. We do have a different structure for any more major events, because obviously if they're taking up a full weekend use of, the dry pad at a facility or the hall at a facility for an entire weekend and they cancel at the last minute, we do set different criteria for that, such as, at the 3-week point, if they cancel 3 weeks prior to the event, the organization is billed 50% of the rental cost, whereas 2 weeks consistent with normal hall rentals would be 100% of the rental cost.
Okay, yeah, I thought I read it like that. And you say that that's consistent with how other municipalities have their cancellation policy. I just read the 3 weeks and I thought, ooh, that's like tight, like, a bit, I thought maybe it might be a bit tight, like 2 weeks I could see, 2 weeks you only get 50%, but 3 weeks, that's kind of far out,
Yes, and I do think, we as the township, we've added in some verbiage within the policy as well to understand there are, exigent circumstances where we may have to, consider other remedies, or where it's warranted that it's justified that someone would have to cancel. But nonetheless, we just want to build this structure so that if someone is planning a major event, that we haven't just lost the potential to sell the rest of the venue during that weekend.
Yeah, I understand what your goal is to keep the venue rented, and then not to lose that revenue at the last minute, not be able to fill it. I was just wondering if it was a bit stringent, but if that seems to work for the users and they're not saying, whoa, 3 weeks, then I was just asking the question.
Fair enough.
Okay. Go ahead, Councillor Madden.
And just to point out and reinforce on that, that's only for sort of the major rentals, right? Like it actually states entire days, weekends, or weeks for the 3-week part of it. At
Oh, okay.
50%, not just a regular, I need to use the hall for a meeting. That's the 2-week part.
Right, for the major ones. Okay, no, that's an important point. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, any other questions? All in favor of the motion? Carried. Thank you very much. All right, where are we here? On to number 2, CS 2026-06, Rural Ontario Development Funding. Councillor Madden, please.
Thank you, Madam Deputy Mayor. Moved by myself, seconded by Councillor Martin, that the Council of the Township of North Glengarry receive staff report number CS 2026-06, Rural Ontario Development Grant Funding, and that Council directs staff to apply for the Rural Ontario Development Grant Funding second intake in order to pursue funds to offset costs associated with the Maxville sign renewal project.
Thank you, Councillor Madden. Go ahead, Stephanie.
Thank you, Madam Deputy Mayor. So last fall, Council will recall, staff submitted an application to the Rural Ontario Development Program to apply for a temporary project coordinator to assist with executing some of the marketing efforts of our Community Development Committee. Unfortunately, we were informed earlier this year that we were unsuccessful with that grant application, but nonetheless, a second intake period has opened up, and staff would like to realign our priorities to pursue funding towards another project, being the Maxville Sign project. To note, for the project coordinator role, we've had, as council is aware, some recent staffing changes within the Community Services Department, and are actively building capacity within the department, in which I feel confident with the internal team that we have now, we should be able to proceed with successfully executing some of the marketing strategies that we set out to do through the project coordinator on an internal basis. But nonetheless, what we would like to pursue for the second intake of the ROD funding would be to apply for funding to offset costs associated to the Maxville sign project. As council is aware, this is a sign project that's been long in the works, but after consultation with the with the advisors for the Rural Ontario Development Grant. We do feel that this project would align well with the goals of the ROD funding, being, you know, the community information sharing, the tourism component of where this sign is located, and helping to direct, you know, tourism and people visiting Maxville to some of the major elements of the area, such as, you know, the Glengarry Sports Hall of Fame, the arena, the Glengarry Highland Games, of course. So nonetheless, we would like to pursue this project, or at least through an application to help offset costs for the project that's already moving along, and we have a goal to have it completed for this year. Thank you.
Thank you, Stephanie. Questions or comments? Yes, go ahead, Mike.
Unfortunate we didn't get the other funding, but good job on a pivot. And as you said, if it aligns with it, and you've already talked to them, and that's kind of the indication, then even better. But yeah, we've had this conversation, and obviously it's a significant want for many of us. So yeah, let's keep our fingers crossed. Thank you.
Anybody? Yeah, go ahead,
Do we have a
Councillor.
cost on what it's gonna be yet, final cost on that sign?
Through you, Madam Deputy Mayor, we do believe, based on recent quotes, it would likely be in around $80,000 to $90,000 by the time everything is said and done.
And we
Which-
have close to 65,
I
Pledge?
believe we're very close to the amount
Okay.
that's needed for the completion of the sign. It should be noted that the installation of the sign in itself is not an eligible cost, but for the sign itself would be eligible for the 35% of the provincial cost share through the ROD grant. So all that to say, even, you know, at 35%, it would help significantly
Yeah.
trim off a bit of what's missing.
it would help to show that we've got the fund to finish the project if we can.
Absolutely.
Any other questions or comments? Okay, all in favor of the motion? Carried. Thanks very much. Thank you, Stephanie,
Thank you.
and thank you for that excellent report on the policy.
Thank you.
Okay, moving along to see the fire department.
One more.
Trillium, okay, I went and checked it off before I did it. Ahead of myself, 2026-07, Ontario Trillium Foundation funding. Councillor,
Martin.
I can't see your nameplate. So your name went right out of my head.
I never thought I'd miss a JV card.
Ah,
Moved by myself, seconded by Councillor Massey, that the Council of the Township of North Glengarry receives staff report number CS 2026-7, Ontario Trillium Foundation funding, and that Council directs staff to proceed with the Ontario Trillium Foundation grant application for the elevator modernization at the Glengarry Sports Palace.
thank you, Councillor. Okay, Stephanie, please carry on.
Thank you, Madam Deputy Mayor. This is my last one for the evening. But essentially, the Community Services Department has really, you know, taken a hard look at some of the outstanding projects that we've lined up, you know, that are due for the next couple of years that we'd like to see completed. And after careful analysis, we are recommending that Council support us in the application for the Ontario Trillium Foundation grant towards the elevator modernization at the Glengarry Sports Palace. As Council will recall, we did apply for the Island Park Tennis Court Trillium Grant last year and were unsuccessful. So given we were unsuccessful with that application, I think it may be wise to pivot and pursue the elevator modernization project, being that it aligns very well with the Trillium Foundation's priorities of accessibility, still aligning well with their recreation priorities and community well-being. So I do think this would be a stronger application. As such, that's why the Community Services Department is recommending that be the one that we apply for through the funding opportunity. And if successful, it would be a great support to seeing that project through at $200,000 roughly. For Council's information, I did include the other pertinent details pertaining to the tennis court renewal at Island Park, breaking down two quotes that we've recently received, just showing the difference between a full replacement of the tennis courts versus the resurfacing option of simply repairing and filling in the cracks that are there. Again, to do so, you know, may give us another 5 years of the court, but it doesn't necessarily fix the entirety of the issue. But nonetheless, I wanted to present these options to Council. I do also want to let you know that there's been some other specific grant funding surfacing specific to tennis court projects that are relevant for municipalities, not necessarily specific to ministry funding, but more private grant fund opportunities. So I'm eager to hopefully come back to council when the 2026 iteration of this grant that I'm speaking to opens up, so that we can potentially pursue this project for potential construction in 2027 if successful. So I just wanted to give council a fulsome update on the status of those projects, and again, based on alignment with the Trillium priorities, feel that the elevator modernization would be the best suited project to apply for. Thank you.
Great, thank you. Questions? Excuse me, questions or comments? Please go ahead, Councillor Madden.
Thank you, Madam Deputy Mayor. I was going to ask about the tennis court, just how long it would give us if we did a resurface on it. And I agree completely with going for the elevator. We've talked about this obviously a few times, and it looks like it does check all their boxes. But as far as usability for the arena, for the hall for people who are not able to do those stairs, and as our emergency location, again, people who can't do those stairs, hopefully we can get it, but we need to do it, and I think this is a very good way to do it. So good job on keeping track on the grants, and let's hope something works for the tennis courts too.
Thank you.
Anybody else? Seeing no other questions, I'll-
I got one question. How far down the line, how far in the queue are Maxville soccer sports lights? Maxville soccer field lights?
So through you, Madam Deputy Mayor, we did discuss this during the Municipal Recreation Association Committee meeting, and we have identified this is a, priority through the Maxville Recreation Association to continue to put towards their reserve for the lights. I'm happy to help assist with identifying other grant funding opportunities. My concern is that for the Trillium grant specifically, we are only as a municipality able to apply for one project. And so as you can see, there's a number of, priorities that we have to unfortunately put to the side, just given the cost of everything right now. So, which is why I think, to Councillor Madden's point, the pieces of accessibility and the GSP being an emergency center, it's no good unless we can have the elevator equipped to get people actually upstairs to the space, especially in the winter where they would be able to access it.
Oh, don't get me wrong, I think it's a priority to fix the elevator for the handicap especially. That's the big, and I know Trillium focuses on that, the accessibility, and that's a number one. But when I look at the recreation survey that we did 2 years ago, I'm looking at question number 23 on page 35, and it says, please list up to 3 facilities and parks that you think are in most need of improvements. And far and above, the response is almost, I don't see tennis courts anywhere on the list. Maxville soccer lights are almost 5 times more, other than the arena floor, the Maxville rink. They're 5 times more than any other response. So I just want to make sure that the importance is shown, that there's a big request for lights in Maxville for our soccer fields. It's one of the very few soccer fields that are actually owned by the municipality, and it's the one that's not lit.
Thank you, Councillor. Any other questions? Go ahead, Councillor.
On that, I was told recently, and I don't know how, reliable this information is, that Glengarry Soccer doesn't need that field, they say, for night games. The Glengarry Soccer Association.
All right,
I'm not
well,
going to order, I don't know who you're talking to, Brian, but
well, maybe we need a little more digging on that. I have to admit that the last I heard, which was several years ago, when some of that money that had been put aside was spent for something else, was because it was deemed that the lights weren't needed. Now, if that's changed, maybe we need some more detailed information on how that's changed. Go ahead.
If I can offer as well, Madam Deputy Mayor, is I have to acknowledge that in my time since taking on the role, it has been a project that's been on the side of my desk that needs to become a priority, is the Parks and Recreation Master Plan. because I think whenever we're able to formalize that as a township, it will help give us direction in terms of prioritizing some of these projects that are pending, and how we want to allocate our funding and priorities. So I acknowledge that it hasn't been something since coming into the township that I've been able to truly focus on, but again, with built capacity and added resources in the department, I'm truly hopeful that we can see the Parks and Master Plan come to fruition so that it'll help be a guiding framework for decision-making when it comes to some of these priorities.
I think that's an excellent idea. And then that way, we can get down to the bottom of this once and for all and either prioritize it appropriately. Okay, thank you. That's a great idea. All right, having said that, we do have a motion in front of us. All in favor of the motion? Carried. Thank you very much, and thank you again for your reports. I think we can officially move on to the fire department now. FD 2026-02, Fire Department Self-Contained Breathing Apparatuses. Councillor Manley.
Thank you, Madam Deputy Mayor. Move by myself, seconded by Councillor Cadell, that the Council of the Township of North Glengarry receive staff report FD 2026-02, Fire Department Self-Contained Breathing Apparatus, and that Council of the Township of North Glengarry authorizes the Fire Department to award the purchase of self-contained breathing apparatus equipment in the amount of $598,850 to 1200 Degrees Darch Fire Inc. And that the replaced equipment is declared surplus upon receipt of the new equipment, and that the fire department is authorized to tender the sale of the surplus equipment via auction, local tender, online auction, or other means as deemed most beneficial to the township.
Thank you, Councillor Manley. I think Matt has some good news for us. Go ahead, Matt.
Madam Deputy Mayor, this report is being provided to council to authorize the purchase, to award the purchase to SCBA's equipment through the RFP Canoe LAS contract 011824 DRA to 1200 Degrees. As per the 2026 budget, council allocated funds for replacement of the SCBA equipment due to its age and conditions. As council is aware, SCBAs are an essential component in protecting the health and safety of our firefighters and providing our firefighters the ability to breathe and communicate in hazardous atmospheres. The department's current inventory of SCBAs has been subject to increasingly frequent failures during routine inspections. Currently, the department owns 38 SCBAs, 150 cylinders, manufactured by MSA Safety. This tender was processed through the Canoe Procurement Group, Cooperative Purchasing. The fire department conducted a search for approved suppliers and received a quote from 1200 Degrees Darch Fire Inc. for the 38 SCBAs and 100 cylinders manufactured by Draeger. The fire department recommends awarding the purchase to 1200 Degrees, and in 2027 funding will be requested to council to purchase the additional 50 cylinders should it be deemed required by that at that point. Should there be any questions, subject to any questions, that completes my report.
Thank you, Matt. Go ahead, Councillor Manley.
Thank you, Madam Deputy Mayor. Thank you, Chief. A couple of questions. The 100 versus 150, is this going to be limiting at all or a concern immediately?
Through you, Madam Deputy Mayor. Immediately, no. This places us operationally. We'll be able to get through it for the year, and it'll actually allow us to, whenever this was first purchased back in 2012, the departments were very isolated, so this will give us an opportunity to also assess whether the need is 150 or we'd be able to still operationally operate with 100. So it's a good opportunity for us, and in 2027 I'll provide a report whether this will be required additionally, or we do have the capability to fill our bottles internally, so operationally whenever we do have an incident, we just create a air management crew right away, and we start that cycle right away. So it'll give us an opportunity to see where we need to be in 2027, but moving forward, very excited that this is a great opportunity for our department and the township.
Nice. The rough numbers, how do the 38 get split up between the three?
So it's It's divided based on apparatus. Apple Hill Station 2 will have 12, Maxville 12, and Alexandria will be the subsequent rest included in my vehicle. Yeah.
Okay, and I think one more, just going through the brochure. It's pretty cool equipment. I'm just curious, at that price, we have everything we need on them, or is there anything else that we need to add to them, like as far as the bells and whistles?
So through Madam Deputy Mayor, this is everything that's required. So we're obtaining in this quote 38 SCBAs, 100 bottles, 70 masks, 70 FPS 5000, so communication. So every firefighter will have the ability to communicate, and myself, command, will be able to communicate with each firefighter directly. So it's an excellent new device, and look, there's nothing further to purchase other than, should we deem it required, that we need an additional 50 in 2027.
Nice, and everybody gets their own mask with their own communicators, that's
Yep,
okay.
correct.
Good. That answers all the questions. Awesome, thank you.
Thank you.
Great, thanks. Any other questions or comments? Seeing none, all in favor of the motion? Carried. Thanks very much, Chief. All right, moving on to the Public Works Department. We have PW 2026-02, Trillium Landing Municipal Engineer. Councillor Martin, please. Oh, come on.
Moved by myself,
come on.
seconded by Councillor Madden. That the Council of the Township of North Glengarry receives a report PW 2026-02, Trillium Landing Municipal Engineer, and that the council appoints LaSalle Engineering at the Municipal Engineering acting for the Township for the Trillium Landing development, and that council delegates authority to the Deputy Mayor and that CAO to enter into an agreement with LaSalle Engineering for municipal engineering services on a unit rate basis. That bylaw 13-2026 be read a first, second, and third time and enacted in open council this 9th day of February 2026.
Thank you, Councillor Martin. Go ahead, Tim.
Thank you, Madam Deputy Mayor. So this report essentially appoints, and bylaw appoints, LaSalle Engineering to be the municipal engineer as defined in the yet to be finalized subdivision agreement. One of their tasks will be reviewing that subdivision agreement. It's been a long time since North Glengarry has done one, so the pro forma from the counties needs to be updated. We have our own waterworks department, so that needs to be incorporated in. And essentially, the municipal engineer is going to act for the township. We don't do on-site quality control. We do quality assurance of the developer's engineer, and they essentially act for us and ensure that that the developer's engineer is, stamping the right drawings, providing the right shop drawings, and that the work is conducted to our satisfaction. They also provide a single point of contact, so it should make everything go a lot smoother for the developer as well, because that municipal engineer is able to put everything together and communicate with Jacob, Dean, myself, and Robbie to make sure they get everything they need to get the development rolling and completed on time and to schedule.
Excellent, thank you. Questions or comments from council? Go ahead, Michael.
Thank you, Madam Deputy Mayor. Just one point I wanted to make. This is all recoverable from the developer, yes? This is actually a zero-sum cost to the municipality.
Through you, Madam Deputy Mayor, yes, that's correct.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions or comments? Seeing none, all in favor of the motion? Carried. Thanks very much. All right, and then on to PW 2026-03, 2025 SCADA upgrade. Councillor Madden, please.
Thank you, Madam Deputy Mayor. Moved by myself, seconded by Councillor Martin, that the Council of the Township of North Glengarry receives a report PW 2026-03, SCADA, is that also 2025? SCADA upgrade for informational purposes only.
Thank you. Go ahead, Tim.
Thank you, Madam Deputy Mayor. This report is really just to make council aware that we made this purchase in 2025. It was a planned purchase in 2025. It's a sole sourcing report, but around the time of the purchase, we didn't have a convenient council meeting to bring a report. Ideally, we would bring this report forward beforehand. This was one of the items that, due to the lagoon starting and a little bit of work going on, that we thought we were going to actually push this purchase into 2026, carry over the money and do it here. However, the system started to have a few issues, so as it's our water system, we went and switched it over. It's a Capital Controls is our sole source for our SCADA system to ensure the compatibility. So we just wanted to bring that to council's attention, that this was purchased, upgraded, installed, and done.
Thank you, Tim. So this is for information purposes only, really? Okay, very good. Questions or comments? Seeing none? All in favor? Carried. Okay, thank you very much, Tim, for your reports. So, no unfinished business. We do have a consent agenda. Councillor Massey, please.
Thank you, Madame Deputy Mayor. Moved by myself, seconded by Councillor Cadell, that the Council of the Township of North Glengarry receives the items from the consent agenda for information purposes only.
Very good. Are there any items any member of council would like pulled out of the correspondence to address tonight? Nope. What are you thinking about?
There was one in there about, I want to say OSIF funding, about normalizing it over 5 years because it's about to expire. Have I got it correct? Is it OSIF?
I believe so.
It was something that was done back in November, and then somebody else had supported it. So I was reading both of them, and I don't think we've done anything about it, but it might be one that we can take a look at, just because it would be beneficial for the province to maintain that funding, or at minimum, maintain it, ideally increase it. So that's just one that I figured we might want to talk about.
Okay, do you want to pull it for the next agenda, so we can have a motion prepared for it?
And I'm gonna say, I think the language on the original motion was specific to that municipality, so it may have to be altered slightly. And that was, I think, the part that we needed to look at a little.
Is
It is OSIF, yeah.
and is that the way to do it for next meeting?
If I might, yeah, I believe so.
Yes? Okay, Michael, if you could make note of that,
Absolutely.
and pull the right one, and we'll have a motion for next
Yeah,
meeting.
see if it's gotta be amended slightly or whatever.
Okay. Very good. Is there anything else under correspondence? Okay, seeing none. All in favor of the motion? Carried. Thank you. No new business. The next regular meeting of council will be Monday, February the 23rd at 6 p.m. here again. And now we're into question period. Are there any questions from the public? See, they always ask Jamie questions, and they're not asking me one question. That's a good sign, even though I can't remember Councillor Martin's last name. Oh, no, you missed your chance. I missed your. Well, I thank you for that. I do deserve it. Okay, well, thank you, everybody. We'll get to the end here. So we don't have any closed session tonight. We do have a confirmation bylaw. Councillor Cadell, if you could please read the confirmation bylaw. Here, you can read that.
Thank you, sir. And thank you, Madam Deputy Mayor. Moved by myself, seconded by Councillor Madden, that the Council of the Township of North Glengarry adopts bylaw 14-2026, being a bylaw to adopt, confirm, and ratify matters dealt with by resolution, and that bylaw 14-2026 be read a first, second, third time and enacted in open council this 9th day of February 2026.
Very good. Yeah, you can pass that back, please. I'll need it. Thank you, Councillor Cadell. All in favor of the motion? Thank you. Carried. And adjournment. Councillor Martin.
Thank you, Madam Deputy Mayor Williams. Moved by myself, seconded by Councillor Massey, that there be no further business to discuss. The meeting was adjourned at 6:51.
Thank you very much, Councillor Madden. All in favor of the motion? Carried. Okay. So thank you, everybody. Thank you to members of council. Thank you again, Tim.
Thank you.
We'll miss you, and we're glad to have you, Michael. Thanks to members of the public who've attended and looked online. And have a good week, and we'll see you a couple of weeks from now.